Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the Avon Park Aero Models Club. Make sure we're filming here. And we are. We're going to be taking up the FMS Ranger 1.8 meter and have a little bit of fun with it. I got takeoff flaps in, right, left, up, down, right, left. Get her turned around. This is this is part of my favorite prop planes of 2024 to fly. This is I haven't made the list out yet, but this is definitely in the running for make it to the list. I can't talk today. This is only maybe the third or fourth time I've ever flown this plane. Flies just like the little yellow Ranger, the little 1220 millimeter Ranger. Just a whole lot bigger. Little tail slide there. That's kind of fun. Let's do that again. All it is, you just go straight up, cut the power, just let her drop. A stall turn. Yeah, not a really good one. What you want to do is right before you cut the power on the stall turn is shoot a little bit of rudder like this. And that way you'll control the direction.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
There. Nice little knife edge there. Plane is plenty big, big enough. It has enough power and enough rudder to really pull off a knife edge well. And she'll fly inverted fine. If I can take her. That's pretty much it right there. She's hovering. You know, I don't even remember now what my receiver is. It's either an I think it's an AR620 or it's a Lemon RX Gen 2 7-channel. But I don't have a stabilized receiver in her, I know that. Because she comes with the Reflex 2, which, I mean, that's the gyro system. That has self-level, that has your wind mitigation, that has everything you need as far as, you know, having a nice stable flight. And so therefore you don't need to spend the money on a receiver that also has a gyro or safe or
time remaining 3 minutes.
Wind mitigation or anything like that, because you've already got that paid for when you bought the plane with the Reflex system. That's what a lot of people do. They'll buy one of these FMS planes or one of these Aeros planes or one of these other planes manufactured that the plane comes with a factory installed gyro, you know, and that's worked into the price of the plane. And then they'll buy a receiver thinking, well, it's a Spectrum receiver, it's got all that technology in it, and I need that safe, and, you know, and I need all that. Well, you've already got that in the gyro that came with the plane. Now you're basically wasting your money. And then they wonder why the plane, you know, they turn the vector on or they turn the reflex on. the gyro that comes with it. They set it by the book, and then they do the same thing with their Spectrum receiver, and they're thinking, well, how come these two things, how the plane flies like crap and wanting to fight me? Well, because you got two gyros trying to fight each other, you know. Well, knife edge machine there. So that you do your little bit of research. If the plane comes with a, now if it has the option of buying it without it, well then yeah, without the reflex or the vector, then yeah, go ahead and buy it without, and then buy your safe receiver or gyroed receiver that you want. A little touch and go there, and set it up that way. Otherwise, you're just wasting money.
Time remaining 2
That was
minutes.
with the wind, so. This is a fun plane right here. All right, let's see if we can't do a little bit of grass hops there. It's windy, but that's okay. I'm gonna move out here on the runway, and we're gonna turn this grass out here into our landing strip now. Plane's a lot bigger, whole lot bigger than the 1220 millimeter Ranger, so I fly a little bit further away. All right, now I want to get up out of that grass really quick, because you look at the front wheel, it's buried. So I'm going to put full landing flaps. I'm going to get it full up elevator, and hopefully get up out of that. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's land it in the grass again. But since I'm landing into the wind, I don't need landing flaps to land. And the only reason I'm using the landing flaps to take off is to get up out of that grass quickly. Going right into the wind now, right into the wind. Oh, and I'm flying in the optimized mode. All right, now she started to kind of tilt forward a little bit. Let's do that again. Make sure that wasn't a fluke.
Landing flaps.
Full landing flaps, full up elevator, okay? And I'm in my,
Manual mode.
we'll go to manual mode, which is no gyro at all. Oh boy, that wind.
Tap flaps up.
Here.
Time remaining 1 minute.
All right. Land her back in the grass. Oh yeah. Well, she's getting rocked around now. I don't have the gyro on, and it's windy. And I have the GoPro wind filters on along with a wind sock. So naturally, you're going to hear a lot of wind. All right, we're going to attempt to do that. Since I'm going to do a pretty strong wind, we're going to just attempt doing that with no flaps. If I can just get her rolling. There we go. So if you don't have flaps, and if you can get enough clearance, all right.
Optimized mode.
All right, back to wind mitigation. I'm running an HRB 4000 4S, just so you're aware. All right, the wind mitigation's back on again. They're optimized mode in the reflex system, but it is awfully windy. It can only do so much. All right, we're gonna land back on the runway since we did our grass ops. Maybe.
30 seconds.
All right, try that again. Actually get off the runway.
20 seconds.
All right, now this changes my perspective. I'm now landing from looking at the plane from this way. So that does change it a little bit. Well, you have a little bit of power. There we go. You gotta, landing into the wind when the wind is gusty like that, it's hard to teach that. But what I'm going to say next, you're going to be like, yeah, how can you teach that? You have to, you're flying along and you're trying to, as you can see, I was like kind of pulling up and down as I'm landing. What I'm looking for is I'm actually doing that myself. The wind is, I'm trying to find that sweet spot that pocket of air that gives me just enough lift, but also is weak enough to let me go ahead and touch on down. I'm basically just kind of feeling for that spot. I guess the best way I could describe that is if you've ever walked in a lake and you can't see the bottom, but you can feel the bottom, and you know there's a lot of grass, you're feeling for that. You're kind of pushing your feet through the grass. It's giving you some resistance. You're trying to find that solid ground. And then when you find that solid ground, that's where you stop at. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to kind of fly along and just kind of find that spot where I know, okay, now I'm solid. I can go ahead and let her set down. That is the closest I can do to try to explain that. That's just one of those things. That's one of those things, just like a feel. You just have to, it's an intuitive type skill that you develop over time through flying planes over and over and over again. And then you realize that air is like a person. It has different characters. It's like a moody person. It's got all kinds of different characteristics, and you have to learn how to manipulate around those characteristics to find the best, smoothest sailing area that you can. And that just comes through the feel of the air. That's why so many people, they'll bring a plane out to the field and say, well, that's my warm-up plane. Well, what they're doing is they want to feel the air. Even if they don't realize that's what they're doing, that's what they're feeling the air. They're seeing how this wind feels to the plane, how it's going to react, and what I can expect when I put that plane in the air. Now, the layer of difficulty of that is that every plane is different and it reacts differently. So you just kind of have to, that's just kind of, that first plane, that warm-up plane, just kind of gives you a general idea of what you're facing that day. All right, but in Florida that can change any moment.
Prop is secured.
All right, secured our prop. Like I said, I'm running a 4000 HRB. Let me show you where I've got that. Try to keep my head tilted down enough where you can see it. Let me take the camera off. All right, as you can see, I've got a mark for 4000, and I'm basically, well, it's kind of slid forward a little bit, from there back. And she CG's pretty good right there with a 4000. So if I had a lighter pack, I'd even come further forward. And you can go so far, and then there's the bulkhead here, and you don't have to worry about. There's hard plastic with a little vent. You're not going to get your battery to the motor. So if you had like even a 2600 4S, you could go all the way forward. But right there is where I'm happy with the 4000. There's the reflex system, and then back up. Oh yeah, I do have an AR620 up inside there. All right, let's check the battery itself, see what kind of life is left. Hopefully you can see during the hole in my teeth. Not bad, 44%. That's a good storage rate. We actually could take it up again, but nah. All right, put this back on my head. All right, well folks, that is the Ranger, 1.8 meter Ranger, sent to me by FMS. Now I had to pay full price for the plane, but they had it on sale, so I bought it on sale. I want to say I paid $329 for it or something like that. Normally it's a little more than that. Got landing lights, and then little black patches there. You may see them on different. I've put them on to put Velcro lights to augment the factory lights. But just a good flying, solid flying plane. And you're thinking, well, how come that gear looks like it's raked forward? It is, and that is the proper way to put the gear on. It may look a little funny, but if you put it back, that throws your whole landing off. It's got to be raked forward like that. So there you go, folks. That is the 1.8 meter Ranger from FMS, and this is Fat Guy Flies RC saying God bless y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God is good. And if you want the plane, there'll be links in the description for an FMS purchase. And if you use that link, it won't cost you a penny more, but you'll help me because I will get a commission. I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to be evasive about things, but I paid full price for this plane, but I do get a commission if you use my link to buy it. It doesn't cost you any more. All right, y'all have a good, and God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and the Rangers. Bye-bye.